What's up, everybody? What's up, money getters? It's your girl, Charity, and you saw the thumbnail. Honey, Earth is ghetto. Earth is ghetto AF. I'm not gonna curse. I'm not gonna curse. But we're all grown. What it is Friday, and a lot has been going on this week. Just one bombshell after the other. And it's like, what is this world coming to? That's how I really feel. It's like, Jesus, I know you're on the main line, and I know you're coming because these people on earth just can't seem to get it together. And I hate that for us. You know, one thing about it, two things for sure. We don't know these celebrities. I mean, we have an opinion, and we can have an opinion all we want, but we don't know these people. These people be off the chain, okay? And the more I live, you would think by now that I wouldn't be shocked by all this stuff that's going
These people
on.
be off the.
And yet, and still I am. I am still like, what is going on? Like, why do people do the things that they do? I'll never understand it. If I live to be a million, I'll never understand it. But guys, my Cash App is in the chat. Support your girl, the Mommy Money Getter on Cash App. Dollar sign Mommy Money Getter. Dollar sign Mommy Money Getter on Cash App. Support your girl. Also, when you come in, go ahead and hit that like button for me and comment your thoughts in the chat. Let's get to it. So, um, there's quite a few people that have been showing their arse out here in the land of Earth. And I'm going to get started with talking about the chief R's, the one that's doing the very most, the president, Donald Trump. He's been in a cat fight with his bestie Elon Musk all week long. And who didn't see this happen? I am not shocked or surprised, flabbergasted, or none of those things. Okay, I'm just like shocked that their little bromance has lasted this long. Elon is not someone that you want to get in bed with. His baby mamas can tell you that. I mean, look at the way he's been dragging African Americans on X for the last few years. And then I don't understand why anyone would drive a Tesla. I mean, they seem like, in my opinion, like like they're just accidents waiting to happen. You know, poor Gilbert Arenas' son found out the hard way. You do not want to be in those cyber trucks. Elon, take care of that. That's instead of getting on the Dodge or trying to figure out how you can save American money, figure out how you can stop your cars from crashing and catching on fire and, you know, harming people. That's what you should be doing. That's what you need to be doing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's stay on topic. I did not feel like all was well, and I know that Donald he definitely wanted, and probably felt like he needed to have someone like Elon Musk behind him as far as getting his messaging out. But the way Elon is talking, did he do a little bit more than that? Because he's saying if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be in office. You wouldn't have got Philadelphia. You wouldn't have won the election. What does he mean by that? Is Elon saying that he was doing something behind the scenes? I mean, I don't know what that means. But I think Elon, the way he was right there in the Oval Office, Remember when he did that salute? Now some people say, "Oh, that's not Hitler's salute. That's not what that was." This means that everybody who saw him do that, the first thing they thought of was Hitler. So if the preponderance of the people thought, "Oh, he's doing that Hitler salute," then that's what it is. I don't know any other thing to compare that salute to. First day Donald Trump got elected, he's doing all that. He shouldn't have even been up there to begin with. He's not the president, and he's running around acting like he was. So yeah, I'm sure Donald regretted that decision he made to bring him on board, but there's no telling how Elon has helped him and what exactly he has done to get that doji or doggy or doge, whatever you want to call it, position. Guys, I see 5 people in here. Please go ahead and hit that thumbs up for me. I would appreciate it so much. I really would. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that they were on the up and up, and what Elon Musk helped them with was more along the lines of getting the messaging out there and campaigning for him? Or do you think that there was something else going on? I don't know. But if there was, one thing is for certain, two things for sure. Elon is going to get on X and he's going to tell it all. So I don't know if Trump is nervous, or I don't know how he's going to handle that. If he's going to kick Elon out the country. Whew, honey. They said that Elon and Trump were supposed to be having a peace treaty, and I'm sure that they both want that. I mean, Elon said his time with Dodge was up, so why not just go ahead on about your merry way? It didn't work out. It's like a bitter baby mama, or uh, a woman who can't stand to be told no, or can't stand to hear rejection. You know, if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. Okay? As long as no one stole money, as long as no one was abusive, as long as no one violated you, go about your way. You did what you could. What's up, real life simulations? I see you in my chat. How are you doing on this very fine Friday? I'm a little tired, guys, but I still came on in here today because I wanted to give you guys your live. But yesterday, my baby girl graduated from high school. If you've been watching my channel, you've been seeing the end of the year festivities involving my daughter and myself and my family. I really enjoyed this culmination of my daughter's, um, what would you call it? Her, I'm not even going to try to think of it. The word is right on the tip of my tongue. But yes, that part is over with, and now we're going off to college and all that good stuff. So, and now school is out. So my other two daughters who are still in school, they are on summer vacation, and your girl has just been lollygagging all day long. I have stuff to do, and I will get to it. But today is my first day um, off, and I'm just chilling. You're gonna watch it play out. Me too. Me too. But that's, I mean, they've been chunking them in the media, Elon and Trump. Those two are a hot mess. Like, for real, all that money you guys have, you're supposed to be better than that. Go find something to do with all those billions you have, Elon. I mean, for real. And Trump, you're supposed to be the biggest, baddest president ever. The nerve of you getting on the internet and arguing back and forth. Hi, Orfo55. Thank you for tuning in. We're talking about this week's hot topics. Do me a favor and go ahead and hit that thumbs up for me. Also, weigh in. Don't be shy. Let me know your thoughts on what's going on in the world today, and or perhaps a hot topic that you think should be included. I had it in mind to do like a weekly wind down on like Saturday evenings, but so much is going on, and I have an opinion on everything. So I said, why not talk about it with the money getters on YouTube Live? Child. hmm And we're going to get down to the bottom of all of it. We're going to get to some things because, you know, you hear about it all the time and you just, it just all gets to you. Sometimes I feel like maybe you should take a break from everything that's going on because it's too much information and it's too much. Um, when I was growing up, I didn't like to watch the news because it was always so much negativity. And I still try to scroll past the real negative stuff. But if you're on social media, you're going to see it. You're going to see it. And then you may not know it, but it's going to bother you. So I feel like you should talk about it. You should, express your opinion in some way, somehow. That might get to them. Your messaging might get out and it might change how someone else is thinking because I know a lot of people wanted Trump in office. And I knew that, we were taking a big chance on him the second go round because of how he carried on the first term. But I just didn't feel like the Democrats had what it took. I didn't vote. I'm not ashamed to say I didn't vote. I didn't vote because I couldn't get with either one of them, Trump or Biden. But I felt like at the very least, Trump was going to be more pro-American than I felt like Biden was. I felt like Biden and Kamala, I felt like they played in our face those 4 years. They did nothing to help Americans. They were too busy worried about Israel, too busy worried about the Ukraine, too busy worried about immigrants. And it was like, okay, what about America? What about crime? What about the high cost of food? What about housing? What about all these homeless people that are right here in America? Like you have millions of Americans who are homeless. Like if you go to Los Angeles, they're cleaning it up little by little. But at the time that Biden and Kamala came into office, it was anarchy. Car insurance has gone up in California. I'm paying like $400 for car insurance on 2 cars. That is crazy. That is really crazy. So yeah. Hi, Ann. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, I hope you're feeling better. I know you said that you weren't feeling too good, Ann. I hope you're feeling better today. But I'm in this thing. I'm in this thing, and you didn't really miss out on much, Ann. I've been having some good lives. Now, I haven't, like today, I'm chilling around the house. And usually when I go live, I'll get dressed and do my makeup and all that. And so when I'm being lazy, I'll just turn off the video. But I said I was going to go live more like and live in color. I was going to start doing that more, but we'll see how things go. But just because I'm being lazy or just because I don't feel like showing my face that day, that doesn't mean I have to deprive you all. I can still get on here and do my thing. And I didn't know that I could do that at first. I didn't know that I could turn the camera off. I thought I had to have station head or something like that. Your blood pressure has gone down. You know what? And when I had remember I did the live about my I'm getting off topic a little bit, guys. Bear with me. Remember when I had the live about my anxiety and my stress levels? Well, at that time, my blood pressure started going up. And at the same time, I started experiencing shortness of breath. So they were giving me uh, different medications for that. So finally, my I could breathe normally, but then all of a sudden, my blood pressure was higher than it had ever been. It had got like to 170 over 110, and my doctor was like, they keep checking you for this and that. Your blood pressure is through the roof. You need to go get go pick up this medication right now. So I was like reticent because, as I said in the live, I don't like taking medication. But I finally just took it because I'm taking the inhaler, and the inhaler causes steroids causes your blood pressure to go up. So, but I notice when I drink water, even though I take the steroids, if I drink lots of water, if I eat at home and I cook what I eat, I'm able to limit the salt that is on the food. I'm able to limit like fattening foods and things like that. What you eat has a lot to do with it and your stress level. And some people, they just have high blood pressure, and there's nothing you could do about that but take the medication. So, yeah, my sister, my baby said my mother said her blood pressure was stroke level this week. So, health and wealth to all of us. May God bless us and continue to keep us. Um, I did a lot of walking yesterday, a lot of walking, and although my legs was hurting from being on those bleachers in the stadium because you had really no room to move and just sitting there. We sat there like 4 hours. I had to get up and walk. My legs were just burning. By the time I got up and got back home, and we got home real late, ugh, I just wanted to get in my bed. But yeah, so we were talking about the hot topics this week. I'm wrapping it up about Elon and the Donald. Remember when his first wife, Ivana, remember she used to call him the Donald? That was so cute. That's when we had no inclination that the Donald was who he is today. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk that he was the tyrant that he could be today? I think he just don't care. He doesn't have a reason to care. Donald doesn't have the I doesn't think he has the same ambitions as most politicians because he already has money and he's always had money. So most politicians, they want to cater to this person and that person. Donald just wants to, I think that in his mind, he really wants to do something to leave his mark because he's made all the money. So now he wants to uh, he wants to leave a mark. I think that's really important to him. And he doesn't care how he has to do that. He just wanted to be president and say, I did this, I did that. You always hear him talking about, I just made the big, beautiful bill and dot, dot, dot. Hey, Focal Point Extension, thanks for joining us. Did you hit the thumbs up when you came in? And you are so right. What you eat has a lot to do with how you feel. But sometimes you can just genetically have high blood pressure, just like you can genetically have diabetes. Sometimes it's beyond your control, and the only way that you can live with it and keep it down is if you take medication. And of course, eating and exercising does, you know, have some things to do with that as well. You can reduce your risk of having high blood pressure, diabetes. It's like you are what you eat, you know? And right, absolutely, and absolutely. But, you know, we have to do our best to take care of ourselves. So I think that's all I'm going to say about the Donald and Elon. Who would name their child Elon? Let me stop playing. So yeah, who else am I going to talk about? Who should I talk about next, y'all? I have a few people on the thumbnail, and I want to talk about all of them, but I don't know who I want to talk about next. I think next I'm going to talk about DDG and Halle Bailey. Y'all, if somebody don't go get them kids, because they're kids, I looked them up last night to see just how young they are. And DDG is 27 and Halle is 25. So that man, means I think they got together around the pandemic, right? I want to say they got together in like 21, 20. So that was 4 years ago, which would have made Halle 21 and DDG 23. So I have kids around that age, and that's very young. So I expect them to make mistakes. I expect for them to, just because they're rich and just because they're in the public eye, that does not preclude them from experiencing the vicissitudes of life. They're going to have to overcome their, emotions and things like that, which is why I've learned. I had children young, but obviously, that's water under the bridge. And looking back, I can see the mistakes of my youth, and I can say now that having children when you're that young you're just asking for problems, because some people will stay together, but the majority of people will not stay together with somebody from the time that they are in their 20s all throughout their life, especially if they're not married. And a lot of people saw Halle, they just saw her as this sweet Disney princess. That's the way the public saw her and her image. And she did come off that way. And I thought Halle was just so sweet. And so she just really came off that way. And her voice, I just think she has the most beautiful, angelic voice. And she's so cute and petite. You're just like, oh, she's so pretty. And you just want to see her have the best that the world has to offer. And then she gets with DDG, just a lowly streamer. That's what everybody says. Oh, he's just a streamer. He's a clout chasing streamer. But DDG has his own fans. And he's pretty big in his own space. But people still didn't think, her fans, and a lot of the general public don't think that he's good enough for her. He a focal point extensions. He was over there playing games with that girl. If he knew he was that young and wanted to live his young life, he should have just left that girl alone. Well, I looked at some of the texts, and if they are to be believed, and Halle hasn't denied that they were real. She did speak out after DDJ. No, let me back up. A couple of weeks ago, Halle filed uh, with the court a restraining order against DDG, alleging that he had put his hands on her and saying that she wanted him to stop talking about her online, not to talk about their child or post their child online, and she wanted to be able to take their child with her to Italy, and he have only supervised visits. That was a big shocker because people were like, whoa. And not for nothing, DDG had been online discussing their business. And a lot of people would say he always has a baby on there. And it could seem like he was exploiting Halo, and like he was exploiting his relationship with Halle, but at the same time, that's his job. That's what he does. He lives his life online. And I'm not certain why he always wanted Halo on there, because you have some people, they never put their child or their girlfriend or their family online. They just stream. They just stream, and they don't really live their lives like that, but he did, and he does. So, yeah, but she did that first. So she took the man's baby away from him and only wanted him to have supervised visits. So he came out blazing. A week or two later, here he comes with his own request for a restraining order against her. And he shows proof that she has assaulted him, and with the weapon, and he has a big gash across his thumb. Now I'm going to tell you something about life. Those sweet and saccharine little girls that seem so cute, so sweet, so quiet, they actually are spitfires. Honey, They will, and don't let them be petite little girls, honey. You talking about somebody coming at you with both, uh, woo. If you look at those texts, and a lot of people, and this is what made me take pause. Oh, he knew she has postpartum depression, and he tried to use that against her. But Halle had been carrying on for the last 2 to 3 years. Now, Focal Point said, well, he was playing with her emotions, but he told her, I just want to be left alone. If somebody told me they just want to be left alone, how does the saying go? Don't let somebody tell you more than once that they don't want you. Never let a man tell you more than once. That man told her, I just want to be left alone. Do you know how that would have made me feel? And I'm the Disney princess. Some girls, they would have took that as proof positive that they was going to get to stepping and not look back. But some girls, the more you say, just like some guys, the more you say, I don't want you, I don't want you, the more they want to have you. It's a crazy phenomenon, but it's real. hmm Let me see what some of you are saying about this subject, because we're going to talk about this stuff. Okay. Focal point extensions. All for clout. The whole family don't do nothing but for clout. I seen a TikTok. Oh, hold on. Let me go back. I seen a TikTok from years ago when Halle admitted that she's a Spitfire and she says she don't play. So you probably shouldn't have effed around to find out exactly. So she admits that, people think she's sweet, but she don't play. What my girl Kendall says, she don't play with the radio. hmm So she meant what she said. She don't play. But DDG could be a cloud chaser all he wants to. But let's get back to the text that Halle sent him. She sent 5 text messages in 60 seconds. 5. And this is from 2022. Pick up your phone. If you don't pick up, I'm never talking to you again. You better pick up now. I'm not playing with you. You see me texting you? Girl, just double, tripling, quadrupling, texting that man. And finally he responds, I just want to be left alone. Do you know how I would have blocked him? I probably would have cried. I probably would have talked about him like a dog. I may have went on social media. I don't know what I would have done. I would have been so hurt. Please. I just want to be left alone. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I am the Little Mermaid. Are you kidding me? I got the biggest movie coming out this year. You have lost your mind. Halle, you could have probably had any man you wanted. You could have had any man you wanted. You weren't pregnant yet. You were not pregnant yet. And I know it's easier said than done. I want to show both of these parties grace. Because like I said, they're both young. And men are not tellers, they are showers. They will do things like try to get with your friend behind your back. Keep gaslighting you and telling you, oh, they want to meet up with you, they want to see you, and never make actual plans with you. You would text them and they'll not respond to the next day. They'll do things like that when they are no longer interested in you. DDG may have very much liked Halle, but once they get you, no focal point. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I've been there. I'll tell y'all about it one day. But yes, he probably was like, okay, like, We had our fun because and mothers and fathers tell your daughters this, and I know most good fathers and most good mothers tell their daughter this, but you can tell your kids till you're blue in the face. They're gonna have to experience life on their own. But boys are different from women from girls. Girls want to be locked down. They want to be put up. They want to be claimed. They want to be acknowledged. 20 something year old boys, especially if they have money, especially if they have fame, and especially if they can get girls, they're out there hunting and sowing. They're sowing seeds. And in his little young pea bank brain mind, he might have felt like, oh, I really like Halle. But then he got Halle. He got Halle. And after spending a few months with her, Halle got a little clingy. Wait a minute, Halle is clingy and controlling. Girl, if you don't move, mm-mm. I've been streaming before I met you. And I have a career too. And my career is just as important to me. But Halle was like insecure. You know, she accused him of cheating. He could have been cheating. But at that time, that was your time to kick rocks. This is a whole year before you got pregnant. This is before you knew you got pregnant. You were already threatening to unalive yourself. And you weren't pregnant yet. What makes the game so cold. What was the problem then? Oh, he was cheating. He was gaslighting. He was manipulating. Can't nobody do those things to you. You're a grown woman with money, with means. You got Beyonce behind you. You're not just anybody. So I don't want to hear that. You're young, and like a lot of young girls, you have to learn the hard way that a man could tell you whatever, but you got to believe him when he shows you. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. That's from the Queen, Maya Angelou. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Don't let somebody have to keep showing you and telling you. Right, focal point. Nobody's exempt. It's dark out there and it's only getting darker. Right. I remember I was dating someone and I really liked them. And my grandmother told me, she said, sometimes some people don't like us the way we like them. And that made me feel some type of way like, Grandma, like, mind your business. But she was so right. She was so right. And so from that point on, I had to take self inventory. If I, in the very beginning stages, I have to take time and see. I know if you like me or not. I know if you want to spend that time getting to know me. I know if I matter to you. Now, sometimes you may not matter to me. Sometimes I might just want to have a little fun with you too. But see, what women sometimes, what we do is we can know that we're just dating someone. And dating someone is just dating someone. If there's no ring on your finger, you don't live together and things like that. If there's no, okay, I want to marry you. And they'll tell you that sometimes too. They will tell you, oh, I want to marry you. I want you to be my wife. You don't get on. If you want to marry me, where is the ring? If you like it, Beyonce say, if he like it, then he should have put a ring on it. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Oh. Put a ring on it. Or you don't like it. You don't like it that much. No. You don't like it like that. He put a baby in her before he put a ring on her, and her fans begged and pleaded, please, Halle, please leave him alone. She told them, you know what she did? Stay out my business. Halle said, stay up out my beeswax. Okay? She said, go find you some business. Halle said, Halle told her fans, she said, you in my business? Don't do that. That's what she said. When people tried to warn her, people begged and pleaded with that child. She didn't want to hear it. And I'm going to tell you something. Hey, Ann, you back? I'm going to tell you something. I don't want anybody in my business either. So what if I'm making a fool out of myself? Let me make a fool of myself. I'm going to have to live with it. And that's exactly what happened. Allie was making a big old fool out of herself, and she had to learn the hard way. But now a baby's involved. You know, it didn't work out with her and DDG. She decided to move on about her business. But now she still wants to control that man's time with the baby, I feel. Let's go back to last summer, I believe it was. DDG was streaming with Kai Sanat. And Holly says, I don't want my baby on the stream. I didn't know my baby was going on the stream and blah blah blah. And then everybody said, you can't tell that man what to do. That's his baby too. Holly's always posting a baby with her and her sister. But she said, I'm somewhere else and I didn't know he was gonna be on stream and I'm dealing with postpartum depression. You see that? Manipulation. And a lot of people called her out at that time. A lot of people called her out at that time, and she doubled back. She doubled back and was apologetic because she was wrong to get on live and say, "Well, I didn't want my baby on stream." You just had him on stream. You just had him on stream, and that's what people have to realize. If you have a baby with these people, my mom always said, "Honey, you need to make sure you know the person you're having a baby with, because that stuff will come out on these children later." And not only that, you have a baby with somebody, and if you guys break up, oh, he will show or she will show you who she really is, and you will see a monster you never seen before. And now for the next 18 years, you have to co-parent, and you'll be co-parenting with your op. So now, all that loving and all that stuff that happened when you guys were together, mm-mm. That's what women are supposed to do. It's all about procreation. They don't be want to be with them, and that's what upset her. Right, right. I think that, shoot, I always say, if you want to find out what a man is about, have his baby. I don't care if you're married to him. Once you have his baby, oh, you're gonna get to see what he's all about. You're gonna see what that man is all about. Because again, a man biologically, not sociology, no, not sociology. Oh, let me get it together. Not on a social level, not on society standards for uh, male and female roles, but biologically, he's meant to go out and hunt and protect his woman, and he's meant to go out there and sow his oats. Some say it's against a man's nature to be monogamous. I will say that men don't become monogamous until they're older and more mature and have lived a little life and have got all that razzmatazz out of their system. Girls, they are more so ready to settle down and be wifeys at a much younger age. But unfortunately, the men that they like may not always be on the same pace as them. So you got to be very vigilant to make sure that the person that you're tying yourself to is on the same page as you. And if you find that they are not, that's okay. It's 8 billion people on this earth. Nothing wrong with changing your shoes. I have favorite pairs of shoes, but sometimes I want something different. I remember those days when I just wanted to be with somebody and all I wanted to do was be with them. Not these days. Mm-mm. I want to taste the rainbow. I want to see what's out there. That's another thing that I think parents should tell their children. I remember I used to go to this church years ago. I was still in college. And this was the first time I had been to a church where they promoted dating. They promoted singles dating around. They didn't promote premarital sex. They didn't promote women and men just, shacking up and living together. They would get the singles together and kind of like do hookups and matchups so that the singles could find out who they were and who they liked. And they would, promote that they date around. And I'm a mother of 5 girls, and that's what I tell them: date around, date. Let's see who, let the best man win. Let the best man win. Who's going to take you out? Who's going to buy you roses? Who's the one that's really showing that they really like you? And then when you have a few suitors, it's easier to tell which one you don't like. It's easier to see who is who. When you just put all your eggs in one basket, then you kind of are limiting yourself, especially if you're young. Get to know them first before you jump into a relationship and say, I do. Exactly, and exactly. I mean, it's cute to be couple goals and I know you're a star and you want somebody on that red carpet with you and you feel like you look good as a unit. That's cool. That's cute. But be like Rihanna. Rihanna do not care. Or to be like who you are. Be like who you are. But one thing you could say about Rihanna, she did not care. She's gonna date her somebody. She's gonna date. And she didn't have I don't know if she's married or not. She could be not. But she didn't get married and have kids until she was ready. Well past 30. And Beyonce was with Jay-Z, but Beyonce said, this is what I tell all women. Make sure you have something for yourself before you tie yourself down. So her and Jay-Z were traveling the world, but Beyonce had her career. And she was still doing her thing and showing up on the red carpet by herself for a number of years. People thought they were together, but she didn't. She kept her business out the public. These girls don't know how to do that. You see the Summer Walkers, and she got a different man every day. Like, girl, you could do this in private. You don't have to let the world know every move you make. But sometimes I feel like these people do it because that's a part of promoting themselves. Like, I feel like people get into, like, some of these celebs get into relationships to keep the people talking, keep the people engaged with them. Because let's be real, there's not a lot of talented people out here these days. It's just not. Say what you want. And back in the day, in the 70s, the 80s, you had to know how to sing. You had to know how to dance. You had to know how to stand on your head. You had to do everything. You had to, I mean, it didn't really matter how you looked. They would put a look together. They would put you together. Because a lot of what we saw was on the radio. And they just wanted people who could really do the job. Like, if you look back at people back in the day, they were attractive, but some of them weren't really attractive by today's beauty standards. You'd be like, okay, but they could act, and they could really, really sing, and they could dance, and they could entertain. These days, people are made famous by their follower accounts. So those type of people have to do so much to stay in the public eye and to get their fans' attention. Because today's public, they want to know everything about your life. They want to see who you're dating. They want to see your baby. They want to know all your business. So yeah, I like I said, I want to show both of them grace, and give them the excuse that they're young and they're still learning and growing. But I just think, you know, there's a lesson to be learned here for Halle and all the young girls who are observing her life, because a lot of young girls are looking at these people on social media and who are famous today, and they are actually modeling their behaviors after them. If they see Halle doing it, they'll think it's okay to act that way. And it's not okay to threaten to unalive yourself because you think your man is cheating or he's not behaving the way you want to. And it's also a wise decision to make to move on with your life if your boyfriend or whoever you're dating is showing signs that he's not, what's the name of that book? He's just not that into you. That's okay. You're still Halle. You're still the Little Mermaid. You still have it going on. If he can't see it, then that's his loss. Sierra did that with Future. Honey, she got tired of playing with him. And look, she got her a Russell. Mm-hmm. Drop that zero and get you a hero, honey. Let him do him. Russell ain't been Russell hasn't missed a beat yet with Sierra. As far as we can see. As far as we can see, because we don't know what? We do not know these people. Honey, he could be another Diddy behind the scenes. We don't know that. We do not know what Russell is doing. But yes, honey, what else? What are we talking about? Let's move on to our next subject. Let's get on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. What is it? Season 16, 17, 18? What's crazy to me is that they've had that many seasons. I have to be honest. I stopped watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, uh, uh, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and those used to be my favorite shows. Those were my favorite guilty pleasures. I used to watch them faithfully, but it just got to be too much of the same contrived stories. It didn't feel real. It's supposed to be like reality, and it just seemed like everything was just made for TV. So I did stop watching them years ago. And I really stopped watching Real Housewives of Atlanta when they got rid of Phaedra and Nene. They made the show. Those two, and let's be real, Kendall, I cannot stand Kenya. That's her name. I cannot stand Kenya. Ooh. But she's such a good evil villain. Oh, I can't stand that Kenya more. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I can't. I know everybody says she's fine, but I can't stand her so much. I can't see it. I used to think she was a pretty girl, but ooh, I do not like her character because that's what it is. That's what they are, characters. I do not like her character on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. But it looks like that's a sinking ship. They try to bring back Phaedra. They try to bring back Portia. I think I watched the first episode uh of this season. I watched one episode only. And I wasn't interested. I did like Shamia. That's the only character I remember. I did like Shamia, and I was happy to see Portia back. I said I would start watching again once Phaedra came back on, but I haven't watched it. And see that reports were saying that when Phaedra came back, that was the lowest rated episode of the season. But look at what she's coming back to. It's a sinking ship, and Kenya's just a gloating. But what made me want to talk about them is that Britt Edie is suing Bravo for $20 million. Mm-hmm. Remember that video or those pictures, those not safe for work pictures that Kenya posted that was allegedly Britt Edie? Britt says that they were not her. After all, it wasn't her. But Bravo continued on with that storyline. So she's suing them. Andy, what's his name? Andy Cohen? I think that's his name. He said that she was being petty. But Bravo, you got to start taking some accountability. You guys get these women on TV to show their arts, and then you pay them a little bit of money, and you think that they are supposed to just allow you to just make a whatever storylines that you want to, even if it hurts them, and you should never take responsibility or accountability for it. And that's not cool. When people start getting violent, when people start exploiting someone by showing them in a manner that is not cool, you shouldn't allow that. It's not enough that you took Kenya off the show. You still allowed that scenario to play out. That wasn't cool. Just like when you took Phaedra off the show, but you still allowed all that stuff about what's her name, Candy, to be on the show. You let that whole storyline play out, which I thought was just a big mess anyway, because Candy's just so dramatic. Ugh. I know Candy has a lot of fans on The Real Housewives, but I cannot stand Candy. She's so self righteous. Okay, Ann Williams. Now we have a Christian court TV show about a church hurt. And my story was the funniest. It's hilarious too. It's on Platinum TV. You did a story on church hurt? We got to talk about that. I want to do a live about Christianity and the church and how that's going for people because, I do read my Bible. I do listen to my gospel. I do try my best. We at about 70-30, not to sin. Yes, you did. You got to send me the link to that. I want to see that. Because I was talking about church hurt. I think I did a post about that on my Facebook last year. Oh, you're going to star in more movies. That's cool. That's great. I want to check that out. I'm going to come to your page and see what you got going on. And, um, but this is what I said about church hurt because I started going to another church. And it seemed like when I came to the church, all the members were so skeptical of me. And I said, you know what? People talk about church hurt because they feel like the church has abandoned them or led them astray in some way. But some churches are also hurting because they put a lot into their members, and then the members uh, start talking about them, start bashing them, or just come in and they, accept them with open arms, and they come with selfish intentions. I know a lot of people who go to church just for the help, just because they're in trouble, but they never give to the church. They never show up when it's time to help at the church. They don't tithe. They just come to take and not give anything. So, I think that it can be, I think it could be something terrible on both ends. And I know some people say, well, the churches, they know what they're dealing with. They know that people are sick and things like that, but they're still human. Pastors are still human. Church members are still human. And, but one thing I do know for sure, there are a lot of sick people in church. Hey, yo, entertainment you love, thanks for joining my live. I trust that you have hit the thumbs up as you came on in here, girl. I seen you were live before I started going live, and I said, oh, shucks, I'm stepping on her toes, but, because I actually like to support all the yo-yo gang. That's what I'm calling us. I know we're all in Streamers University, but I don't know. I just feel like calling us yo-yo gang. So, yeah, I try to, see who all's going live so that I could come in when they're actually live. I like doing that better than doing the replay, but I will do replays sometimes too, just to make sure that I'm getting everybody. Ann Williams, Yo-Yo is the best, and you are too, Charity. Thank you. Yo-Yo is my girl. She is such a loving and caring person, so supportive, and I give her the shirt off my back. No, but for real, I really love how supportive she is and how she's unifying so many of us women content creators. You don't see that a lot. You don't see it a lot at all. And it's definitely inspiring. And it makes you want to say, you know what? I want to be the same type of person. I always want to be on the side of good and on the side of right. If I see someone that is doing something positive, that is unifying a group of individuals, or, I see them doing something that is positive, I'm definitely going to champion them and always be on their side. Like, it's not enough people like that. And Yo-Yo, she could be selfish and she's building up her own page and she's doing quite well. And she could be selfish and just be like, I'm going to focus on me. But she still says, you know what, let me reach out to my girls. Let me see, like me. We've been supporting each other for, I think, for the better part of this year. And I come in and out of her live. She comes and supports my channel. But she said, why don't you do this with me too? I want you to do it too. I want, you know, all of my girls, all the people that I know who are also content creators and who are doing their thing. I want them to be a part of this. And you know what? I'm so glad she did because I'm having a good time doing it. I am. I'm excited to do it every day. What's up, Karen Scott? Thank you for joining the live. If you just came in, please do me a favor and give the live a thumbs up and also give me some of those hearts. Today we're talking about the hot topics. Last week I did it on Saturday. I wanted to do like a wind down at the end of the week on Saturday nights, but as I said at the top of this live, these people, Earth is ghetto. These people are acting a mess. And we have talked about Elon Musk and Donald Trump and their girl fight. And I'm wrapping it up. Oh, no, I've already talked about DDG and Bailey and their baby mama, baby daddy drama. And now we're talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm so glad that you joined. I'm having so much fun too. Yes, it is fun. Yo, it is because not only do you know you have other women who are doing it with you and cheering you on and their support, but it helps you to stay on your grind and continue on. So you have to be accountable because you're in this with other people. So that's what I like about it. But yes, I don't know where the show is gonna go. Kenya said the other day she hoped to see us back soon, so they're probably in talks with her. That's what I think. I think Bravo or Andy is already talking about how they could bring Kenya back to the show because a lot of people had an issue with why was someone else allowed to. I don't know who she was because I don't know half the girls on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But one of the girls threatened another cast member, and they said, "Wait, you didn't take her off the show, but you took Kenya off the show." And Kenya might. This. Let me tell you something. These people, they be on some other stuff. They may have taken Kenya off and did all of that just to shake up the show. It may not have had anything to do with Kenya exposing Britt Edie. Because if they wanted to be for real, they could have cut all those scenes out and never shown them and gave Kenya a warning. Like, we didn't have to know that that happened, but they showed that anyway. So, yeah, keep pushing forward. How you doing? Thank you for joining my live. I appreciate you for being in here. We got a few of the Yo-Yo gang in here with me. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the hearts. And thank you for giving the live a thumbs up. But yeah, so what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Real Housewives of Atlanta will continue on, or do you think that they'll just go ahead and cancel it like they did with Real Housewives of Orange County? I really do think it's ran its course. I really do feel like there should everything good has to come to an end at some point. I think Real Housewives of Atlanta, they did what they needed to do, and maybe they should branch off, like kind of like what they did with Kim and Croy. They could branch off and let some individuals have their own show if they're more popular. I think I wouldn't mind seeing Portia and Dennis doing something. I would even like to see what Phaedra is doing behind the scenes. I don't know. Or maybe a couple of them. Like branch them off or something. They all have branched off and started doing their own thing. Right, Yo-Yo? Um, Nene, I think she still needs some money somewhere. Because she hasn't really been doing a lot. Portia and Dennis, oh, they have a they do? They have YouTube content together? See, that's how little I know. I was saying earlier that I used to love Real Housewives of Atlanta. I used to be tuned in, but I don't pay attention anymore. So, you got regular people now on YouTube. You got the Peach McIntyres. Uh you got so many regular people to entertain you with their real life drama. Yeah. So these contrived stories on reality TV are just not doing it anymore. So there's that. I hope, I wish the real housewife of Atlanta people the best, but um, I'm just not tuning in anymore, you know. So yeah, let's move on from them. Let's see, who else do I have on the thumbnail to talk about next? Uh, let's see. I want to talk about Armand Wiggins and his commentary on the Diddy trial. Armand, I have been watching him for quite a while. I want to say for the last couple of years. He's a part of the female rap sector, and he does a lot of commentary on the female rap artists and their beefs. He's done a lot of videos on Nicki and Cardi, and he kind of flip flopped between who he was supporting. And now he kind of just like toned it down because he was on Fox Soul last year, and it was a lot of drama. And that show ended. I liked Fox Soul. I did like it. I liked it when Funky Dineva was on there because for once we had a show that we could watch and hear people kind of break down the hot topics or the news that was going on, and you got that different perspective from male and females. I liked it. I liked all of them. I thought Al was more, you know, kind of educated, and he was a little bit more laid back. Funky was a little bit more to speak his mind, and then Claudia was neutral. But Claudia always knows somebody' business, right? Every time something happened, I don't care if it's with Diddy, I don't care who did something, she knows somebody that knows something. Claudia know everything, right? But anyway, when Funky Dineva left, Armand joined the panel, and that didn't last at all. And Armand, it seemed like he was crashing out on YouTube, going at this person and going at that person. And finally, he saw that he was losing out, and that's how it happens. Like you could, you can be the one in the right, but people don't react to what was done to you. But they do react to how you respond. What's that about? Like, it's okay for that person to do me wrong, but I'm supposed to just take it on the chin? Nope. So yes, Armand calmed it down, and he reinvented himself and stopped crashing out on YouTube and got himself together so he can get his coins together. He got tired of being used as a pawn, and so now he's relocated from Los Angeles to New York to report on this Diddy trial, and he is doing a great job. He still has all the antics. He's still with all the stuff, and he's funny. So his name is Armand Wiggins. He's the one in the pink jacket on the thumbnail. And if you aren't paying attention to the Diddy commentary, the Diddy trial because you have to work or because you have more important things going on, like living your own life, but you still want to, you still a little bit nosy, you still want to be in other people's business, you can catch Armand in the evenings. He goes live and he does a recap of the Diddy trial, or you can watch his replay later. And he's going to let you know everything that goes on in the courtroom. He's going to, tell it in a very, very entertaining way. I mean, he's so funny. You just like so tuned in. And he's also going to let you know who he thought won the day. And it always seems like seems mostly like the prosecution is winning until the defense gets up there. And this week, the prosecution has had 1-0 after the other. It's like, why would you put these people on the stand? They don't remember anything. They were heavily into uh, illegal substances. Uh, they all want to sue. They can't remember what happened to them. The only time they remember is when the prosecution is asking questions. As soon as the defense asks questions, and they don't know, they don't remember. They're so abused. They were scared. They were afraid. You got to ask their therapist because they just can't handle it. So yeah, you have been following Dennis and Portia. I'm gonna check them out. You're back in. Yeah, my Wi-Fi's been acting up too. I had to take my Wi-Fi off, turn it off while I'm doing this because it's been lagging all week. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna call my internet service provider in a minute and be like, "What's going on? You guys are you guys are tripping. I need something off my bill." So yeah, um, Armand is. I just want to give him his things because he's been keeping me entertained throughout this Diddy trial, and he's fun to watch. I like academics breakdown too. I like the commentary academics has been doing. I know you either love academics or you hate him, but I think he's been doing a good thing with this trial too. He's really has. He's been going deeper. Like he won't just talk about what's going on at the trial. He'll go behind the scenes and let you know who's who, what's what, and he'll go and pull up that dirt. So if you're into that kind of tea, check out Armand. And with that being said, let's talk about Diddy. Honey, that Diddy is one weird mofo. But then at the same time, people have their predilections. You know, people like what they like. And not everybody likes the same thing. Some people like vanilla, some people like chocolate, and some people like Rocky Road. What's up, Jazzy J? We're talking about this week's hot topics, and now I'm on your boy Diddy. My whole thing is this: Diddy, you know you like stuff a certain way. You know you like a certain thing. Why not find people who like what you like? Because believe it or not, there are lots of people who want to get down like that. There are men and women. They like getting down with the get down. I don't know why you wanted to just, mess with the regular pretty girls. Because some of these pretty girls, some of these girls, they think they're big girls and they can handle it. But after a while, they don't realize, oh, you're going to have to do a lot for this money. You're going to do a lot for this fame. But what he was requiring, it honestly, quite honestly, is not foreign to me. I don't do it. Let's be clear. But I know people who do. And I want to say this. I have friends in the 90s that would tell me, oh, you don't do such and such, tossing their man salad. That was so nasty to me. Hey, Butterfly, family and vlogs, thanks for joining. Right, Jazzy J, as everything comes with a price. But I remember I had girl, or I was a grown woman, but some of my associates, some of my friends would tell me that they would toss their man salad, and I'm like, oh, H to the gnaw. They was like, yeah, that really gets him going, and I'm like, ooh, no, don't you like that, girl? No, ew, what are y'all doing? But people were like that. People were like that. People were like the finishings on them. I'm trying to say this as we're adults here, and I'm not trying to be overly anything, but they would like their man to finish in their mouth. Some girls like that kind of stuff. Some girls like that. Not me, but some girls like that. So what I'm saying is people like different things, and there's enough of people who like to get down like that to where I feel like, Diddy, why didn't you just find people who like what you like? and who get down like you do. That's my whole thing. And I know you could have found women who would get down like you would because you're puffy. And people can say, oh, he's ugly, oh, he's this, or he's that. Puffy has money. And I've seen worse looking men have a lot of chicks and they have a lot less money. And you be like, how is he getting all the girls? Puffy has a lot to offer. He can tell you how to he can, tell you how to be a star. He can help you with your music. He can give you some of his money. He can take you all across the world on his private jet. He can sell you on the seas with his yacht. He has a lot to offer a girl. And most girls will want to date a puff until they find out he want a freak in the morning, a freak in the evening. I think it's about control too. I think it's about control too. I think it's about taking a pretty girl that everybody thinks is super pretty and super attractive and just degrading her down to nothing. Because, again, you're Puff. You're Diddy. Why not just you could get a pretty girl that wants to do it, but I guess he said, no, I want a girl that don't want to do it. You never talked about men who said that? And like in the 90s, I remember hearing, and you don't hear it a lot these days, but I remember in the 90s, and all men won't tell you they do. All men won't tell you that they like that kind of stuff, you know, and all women won't be honest with you about it. But I remember, and I was just like, oh no, I can't do that. I don't even want to see if that's something that I could do or that we would enjoy. No. But yeah, people like different things, and people are really heavily into watching CORN. Change that first letter, and you get what I'm saying. People are heavily into that, and so I think people start watching it, and that seems like what he was doing. It's like he wanted to have his own real life thing, but not only just that, he wanted to play in other men's jizz. Now that's something different. But again, some people like different things. The problem is he would have to ingest all these different substances. And I'm like, boy, who could stay up for 4 or 5 days doing that? Whitney and Bobby used to. Whitney, Whitney went through millions doing it. Anna Nicole, she did it. Uh, who else? Prince. Who would have thought Prince was taking all those pills? A lot of these celebrities, they get money, they get to traveling all over the world, they get to partying, and next thing you know, they're living that kind of life. And Diddy was like, look, if you want to be with one of my girls, this is what you got to do. You're going to have to take a few butt whoopings. You're going to have to do this kind of stuff, you know? And I think that's what it was. But this week has really been, I think this week has been bad for the prosecution because a lot of people who are saying that he did things to them, they can't remember when it happened. All they can remember is he did something to them. And I don't forget nothing that was done to me. I haven't forgotten a thing in my life. There's not that much trauma in the world that you remember what was done, but when you get asked to explain, you can't get down to the nitty gritty. To me, that means it didn't happen. You could say somebody threw you off the balcony, but you can't say where it happened at. Ain't no way I'm not going to remember where it happened at and when it was. I'm going to remember. That's just something that you can't remember that it happened without remembering the details around it. You might not remember the exact date, but you remember if it was spring, summer, or fall. You remember the year. You remember where you were. I know I do. So I have been hearing men talking about they like, okay, oh, check on him. My niece, okay, check on him. My niece says she is going to help to get more people to support him. Who did he? Yes, I had to tell the guy, I'm sorry, but I don't do that. So it ain't no need to go for it. Jazzy. I can't believe a man actually asked for that. Uh, my little cousin was asking me, "Is that normal?" I'm like, "H no, leave him where you meet him." These people are weird nowadays. I'm glad I'm not in no dating stage. You're so blessed. Hold on to your husband, yo yo. It's ghetto out here. The what they say, the dating pool has piss in it. It's made of piss. Yes, this world is scary, yo yo. It's a whole lot of M, if you know what I mean. Mm. Yes, right, Jazzy. Leave me in my bubble. If a man, okay, yeah. If he took his and asked that baby, it's a problem. Oh, if he took his butt up, okay, and asked for that, yes. Like to actually ask you for that. Like if you asked him, or if you just did that, and he could either be like, okay, no, don't do that, or no, baby girl, come on, we ain't got to do all that, you know. But to ask you for it, but then at the same time, if consenting adults should be able to say, this is how I get down, and it's up to you to either object to it or oblige. If nobody is not forcing you to do it, somebody can say, this is how I like to get down. This is what I would like to do. This is how I like to party. I like to have this and I like to be able to do that. You can say all you want to. I felt like I couldn't say no. Why can't you say no? You're grown. I'm going to say no if I don't want to do something. And if you try to make me, I can't say that I'm going to just fight you. I'm going to preserve my life. But when I get away from you, I'm telling, I'm running, and I am telling. But nowadays, I'm not as much of a hothead as I used to be. I'm going to set you up. If you beat me and you do all that stuff that some of these people are saying he did to them, and they were recording. One of the girls, Mia, she was recorded. She had a videotape around her at all times, and yet not one time did she have one recording of Diddy doing any of the things she alleged that he did. Not one text message telling somebody he did it. Not one thing, except her word, which was crazy. But I would set you up. I'm going to have a videotape going. I'm going to always have my phone recording. I'm going to take pictures of the so-called bruises or whatever that you left behind. And I'm going to get some evidence. And I'm going to make sure you get gone. Or I'm going to tell my cousins them. And I'm not the type of person that's going to go get my cousins and them, because you know what? I don't want nobody I love doing one day behind bars, behind somebody's mess, or something I got myself into by dealing with that crap. Oh, no, butterfly, not dirty tampons. Yes, it's a big problem if he allows his to get propped up. Not put him on a pillow. Y'all are this is what we should be talking about at night. Ooh, we getting into some things. But for real, this stuff has to be talked about because we live in a different time. We really do. We live in a different time where people are not as shy to say, this is what I like, this is what I want. And I think that people see women as the fairer sex in need of protection, especially if they're pretty. Like pretty girls, why would you do that to a pretty girl? And don't let her be, if she's black, then she probably wanted it and nobody made her a victim. But if she's anybody else, light skin, white, long, pretty hair, fair hair, then yes, she's a princess and we need to protect her. They can't see somebody pretty like a Cassie or the Jane Doe that's on stage now, that's on the stand now, and we all know who that is. But I'm not going to get in trouble. The feds will not be knocking at my door saying, why did you dox, or why did you say the name of one of the victims that are on the stage? But we all know who it is. You know, These are pretty women. Puffy doesn't deal with just average looking women. He deals with very pretty women. And these women have all said the same thing. I wanted to make him happy. I would not care about you being happy. Make me happy. Make me happy. You got all these girls. You need to be trying to prove something to me. Just like you wanted me, another. If a billionaire wanted me, a millionaire will want you. If a if a if a millionaire wanted you, then you got it going on. You don't have to sit up there and do those turn those type of tricks. Tricks are for kids. And if somebody said, "Well, I'm not going to pay your rent no more," okay, then you're not paying my rent no more. I will figure it out. Or let me get a few more. Let me do this one more time so I can get a few more months of rent out of you, and then I'm out of here. Deuces. But I'm not going to be doing all that. One of the witnesses said she was with 3 men in one day. I wouldn't tell nobody but God. I wouldn't. I wouldn't share that with nobody because he was holding your rent money over his head. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Yeah, because Roster and her chat be talking about golden girl. Yo, yo. You too hot for TV today, yo, yo. Girl, uh, people are a mess. Yes, you see what I'm saying? And she Rasta all in the church. All in the church. And bike and bike and bike and bike. I love when you do that, yo, yo. When you say bike to bike. Oh, but she's definitely somebody that's always in church. And I thought she had put that life behind her. I thought she was a Christian now. And is she doing all that stuff? Girl, but one thing about it is everybody has something that they do behind closed doors. And most people will be probably like shocked that they're doing it. But, it is what it is. It really is. So I guess I don't know. This though, this stuff that Diddy is on trial for, that's to me the average person isn't doing that. But maybe because some people I know really close, uh, I heard stories about them, about somebody I know sharing his wife with somebody, and I was a little shocked by that. But people, they do different things. They really do, and some women like being the center of attention like that, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so you can't really be shocked by people knowing who they are and what they want. But you can always say no. If somebody still tries to make you do something, even though you said no, then that's where it becomes a problem. But if you say no and decide to walk away, no, you don't still get the money. No, you don't still get the fame. And no, you don't still get to go on the yachts, the private jets, or be a part of the lifestyle. And I think a lot of them be thinking about that like, okay, if I don't do this, if I'm not partying and having fun, then I don't get to be a part of this lifestyle. I don't get to hang out at the after parties. I don't get to be seen on the red carpet. Okay, that's just what it is. You're right, Karen Scott. They do it for money or fame. They do. They they say Will Smith and his wife like that. I believe it. I believe it because when August Alsina came out, that was the first hint that what we thought these celebs were was not really what they are. Like the whole time we thought we heard stories about Will and Jada. We heard things about them. And every time they would deny it. Oh, we don't have an open marriage. That's what they would always say. But then August Alsina said, oh, I've been going with her all this time. We've been living together and everything. And they never put us in the chat. They never let us know that. And we didn't have to know that they were divorced or anything or that they were separated. But the whole time here we are thinking they're still very much a married couple. And the whole time they were not. which was crazy. That the whole time you got everybody thinking you and Will together. You got you a whole boyfriend, Jada. Mm-hmm. In August, you knew what it was. And then you're going to sit up there and tell. Now, what kind of mess is that? But that was our first sign. But at least he didn't sue them and say Jada made him do stuff he didn't want to do. Or Jada put him through emotional, turmoil. But I think she kind of did. That was a young boy, way younger than her, already, already going through some stuff. And she was way older. Let me see. How old is Jada? Let me see. Jada. Let me look her up. Jada's what, about 50 something? Jada is 53. In August, Alcina is 32. Now, come on, Jada. Come on now. 53 and 32. Come on. You're 21 years older than that boy. That's a little boy. That's a little boy. Jada, you doggone well you would have any business messing with that boy. Come on now. You messing with somebody's baby boy. And it's the same thing that goes for Puff that goes for you. You took advantage of him. He was young. He was going through a lot already. He was already going through some stuff. And then you and your man done put him off in the middle of y'all stuff because y'all like to swing and sway and all that stuff. And you had August Alsina about to lose his mind over your little tiny petite little self. And not only that, look at what you did to your fans. We believed in y'all. Y'all was like couple goals. You was black excellence. And then y'all did that to us. I have not looked at Will and Jada the same way since. Definitely not Jada. I cannot believe the way you did that. And then you got Will and all sorts of emotions. He get up there on that stage and slap that man, but we're not gonna go all the way back there. My point is, people be doing stuff. Look at Cardi and Offset too. It's getting ugly over there too. But I think Cardi knew Offset was cheating and accepting, and Offset didn't want to accept Cardi cheating. Right, right. Young enough to be her son, right, yo. Way too young. Like, um, last year I had some little boy trying to get with me. He's 30 something. And my mom was like, girl, don't talk to that young boy. I'm like, why not? But you know what? It went nowhere, but he was a cute little thing. But that was the first time I ever considered talking to somebody younger. And that was new for me because I was always like, oh no, I would never talk to somebody younger. And I really wouldn't. Maybe. I don't know. But he wasn't 21 years younger than me. It was a decade of age difference, okay? But yeah, I don't think that, I think people think that either a young man wants to use you or he wants a mommy. And I think that is what it usually is. When a young guy, he wants to overly prove himself that he's man enough to be with the older woman. And I think that most of the relationships that I seen where the woman was older, she kind of takes advantage of the younger guy, and she will try to mold him, and she's very insecure because she thinks he's going to want a young girl, and she wants to keep him like chained up. She wants to put that ball and chain on him and keep him at home, cooking, watching kids, washing clothes, and just right up under her. He can't get away from her. He can't have friends. She probably don't like his mama because his mama could see right through her. And I would not want somebody's son because your mama is not going to be my op. These women already be overly controlling their sons. Get your little bald head, nappy head son away from me. But yes, the way she did that little boy, his nose was wide open. He thought him and Jada was going to be together forever. He didn't know that her and Will just like to play with people's emotions. Right, shaking my head. Yep, right, butterfly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so but Diddy, I don't know. It's like the prosecution will put up a witness, you be like, oh, he going down, that's it. And then here come Nicole Westmoreland. Let's get into some things about her. Nicole Westmoreland, she's reminding me of a Pamela Mackey or Leslie Aberson. Leslie Aberson, uh, she was the brothers attorney back in the day. Pamela Mackey, she was Colby's attorney during his trial, or during when he had that criminal case with that girl in Colorado. And them lawyers did not play. They were pit bulls in a skirt. And Nicole Westmoreland, I think she's a black lawyer out of Atlanta, and she does not play. When she gets up there and starts questioning you, oh, she's gonna get down to the nitty gritty. You're gonna have to do some answering. They're talking about Brian Steele, Young Thug's attorney, but Westmoreland is reminding me of a Johnny Cochran, and I think she's gonna get her things after this trial. If you ask me, Puffy should just go on and let her take over this trial. But he has 10 attorneys, and I'm sure all of them are positioning for the spotlight. Because although we don't see the trial on television, we're knowing their names. I mean, we know their names. And after this trial, if they are able to get him off or if they're not, people are going to be looking at them. They're going to be doing interviews. Some of them will probably write books. They're going to gain some type of notoriety from this because this is one of the biggest trials ever since OJ. I don't think even Bill Cosby or R. Kelly was as big of a deal as this because this is so salacious. Like you heard that Bill Cosby or R. Kelly, that they committed the acts themselves. But now with Diddy's trial, you're hearing that he did not just commit the act himself. He had other men do the thing, and he had women doing all kinds of things. I don't, and Williams, I don't like open relationships. I think a relationship is sacred for two people. If you're married, I think it should just be you and your husband. I mean, I wouldn't want to be married to somebody and I have a boyfriend on the side. Would I like that? I don't know. To be honest, would I like that? Oh no. Let me chill. Let me chill. Chill, charity. But the season I'm in now, I just want to date. I want to date. I don't want to be tied down by anybody. I don't. So I'm just being honest. My son bet not bring nobody home my age or older than me. Right, yo yo. Do I think Ray J is going down too? Yo yo. You know, I think we might find some stuff out about him. And when they were saying that they believed that he had something to do with Whitney, um, I didn't believe it. But like I said several times throughout this life, we do not know these people. People are capable of anything, and they're no different. As a matter of fact, they're capable of a lot more because they have the money and they have assets, and then they have people who are willing to do their bidding to get some of that money and that access. So they probably do everything up under the sun. And yes, I believe that they're going to come from Ray J at some point because he was there when Whitney had that overdose. And he probably went and got the stuff for her. He probably went and got that stuff. Did he make her do it? No. She took that on her own, I believe. He could have been in there and came in there and saw her like that and got scared. They said the sister-in-law found her. But, yeah, who knows who gave her that stuff or who copped that for her. Because she wasn't, she's Whitney Houston. You think Whitney is out on the street corner copping some of her own stuff? No, she got somebody going to get that for her. She's giving them a couple of dollars and they're going to the street corner and they're bringing her sack back to her hotel room. So who did that? But at the same time, Whitney was doing that before she met Bobby. They blame Bobby for her, just like they're doing with DDG and Haley. They're blaming DDG for everything that Halle did. Oh, well, she was postpartum. Oh, well, it was because he was cheating. Oh, well, she was begging that man for help. Well, that man was saying, leave me alone. Whitney was on that stuff before she met Bobby. Whitney said her and Bobby used to turn up low key like did he turn up. She said they used to turn up. They would get they would close off, they would send Bobby Chris off with her family and they would hole up in a room, close the doors, uh, turn off all the lights, close up all the shades, and they would get happy, high as a kite, and do their thing for days on end and start to chunking them. And Bobby would be going upside her head and everything. Y'all saw Whitney with her wig turned upside down, every which way but loose. My sister-in-law's son dating a woman older than her. I'm like, nah, she would have to see me. Right, yo. These women get desperate. What happens is they run their course with the men their age, and not even just that, men their age, like women in their 40s and 50s, the men their age want the girls that are 20 and 30. So now the women, but I think too, like, are you a woman who looks young? But even if you look young, even if you look good for yourself, still, if the 40 and 50-year-olds your age don't want you, get you a 60 and a 70. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Leave the little boys alone. Let them grow up. Just like leave the little grown men need to leave these little girls alone. And I'm talking about 20s and I'm talking about 30s. If you're 50, 60, find you something to do with yourself. Because who really want to be sitting up kissing on your old self? Ew. Ugh. And I don't care how much you work out, you still got a little sag to your muscles. And you're not doing nothing like that. Let these young people have it. We had our turn. We had our turn. I'm not afraid to say that I had my turn and I had my fun. I made my mistakes. And, I don't, I'm not attracted to young people. I'm not attracted to anybody that doesn't possess a level of intellect and maturity that I do. Like, what am I going to talk to you about? And then these young people start thinking they know everything and you can't tell them nothing. Nope. That's right, dude. I had to learn the hard way. It ain't worth it, right? Rent, what ain't worth it, Ann? What's not worth it? Do tell. Let us know what wasn't worth it. I'm nosy. The people want to know. No, but yes, it's flattering for a younger person to want to ask your number. I remember probably when I was in my 20s and early 30s, uh, younger guys would try to talk to me. And really back then, because I thought I was all that. Like, little boy, go sit down somewhere. For real. Where your mama at? Because no, I'm talking about they love to say this. Oh, I'm grown. My mama know me. She know I talk to older women her age. I done talk to all her friends. What? You wouldn't be my friend talking to my baby. That's what you wouldn't do. Mm-mm. Nope. Let me check the comments. Let's see what we got going on. Yep. Yep. But I don't know. I think it's 50-50 with this Diddy stuff. He may or he may not go to jail. I don't know. A lot of that stuff I see where the prosecution has really proven their case. And, but I don't know. It's going to be how the jury feels about it. Because if he has a fan on that jury, they might not want to see Diddy go spend the rest of his life in jail. And that's what it's going to come down to, people's feelings and emotions, not really the law. because people don't really go over that what the law is unless it was something that was just an outright, um, like you just really said. But when it comes to these celebs, people think differently. People don't want to see their faves go and spend the rest of their life in jail, and they will make concessions for them. So yeah. But other than that, what does everybody have going on? How is your week going? We're at Friday, and I put up a few videos about, not about, but a few graduation videos today. I did a get ready with me, and I did a little short with my daughter graduating. I was very happy to celebrate that occasion, but your girl is glad it's over. Okay, from March till now, for the last 3 months, I have been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. hmm A 24-year-old tried to talk to me, couldn't get past his age. No thanks. I know that's right, butterfly. hmm Let them try. It's flattering. It is flattering, but at the end of the day, common sense has to prevail. Yeah. Because what are you really going to do with somebody that young? You know, I don't know. I don't know what I would do with somebody that young. Because I like to be able to conversate with somebody. I like to be able, conversate is not a word, but I'm still saying it. I like to be able to have deep conversations about politics, I want somebody to teach me. I've always dated older because I wanted someone that could teach me something that I don't know. Help me to consider life in a different perspective, you know? Oh, y'all, I seen that Pat Poose and Remy, their daughter had a graduation and they both were there. They were both in attendance of Little Reminiscence's graduation. So it looks like they're at least able to come together and be there for her. Now, I didn't see them both in the same picture, but they were both at their daughter's little kindergarten. I know it's kindergarten, but I like saying kindergarten uh, graduation or preschool graduation. I'm not sure. I think it was one of them. Thank you, Yo Yo. I appreciate that. I'm turned on by intellectual men that can lead a conversation and stimulate my mind. That is called a sapiosexual. Let me make sure I'm saying that right, because that's kind of what who I am as well. Yeah, attracted to highly intelligent people. Sapiosexuality means that a person is sexually attracted to highly intelligent people, so much so that they consider it to be the most important trait in a partner. It is a relatively new word that has become more popular in recent years. But yes, that's kind of like me. I like people who are creative. I like men who are industrious and ambitious and who don't have to be helped along the way. Like, do your stuff. Tell me what I should be doing. Tell me what you think is a good idea for me to invest my money in. Show me something that I never thought about. Yeah, because if I have to tell you everything or if I say a word, you be like, what's that mean? I mean, sometimes I will get on my tip and start talking, and I'm a writer. I'll say words that most people don't know sometimes. So I get that, and I don't try to lord that over somebody's head. But if I'm just talking about something simple and I say a word like ambiance, don't ask me what ambiance is. Ambiance is the feeling and the vibe, you know, how you feel when you walk into the room, how a room is when you go into it. Like, I can't really explain it, but I know what it means. And use your discernment. Take context clues from the other words in the sentence to know what I'm talking about. That's an intellect. That's what being smart really is. It's not what you know, it's how you process information, you know, because I don't know it all, but I can gather what someone is talking about by listening to everything that they're saying. And if I don't know, that's what Google is for. And asking questions is okay, but some people they just act so simple minded because they never picked up a book or because they have no life experience. And if somebody doesn't have life experience and you do, you're actually taking a step back if you get in a relationship with them. And I've seen some successful relationships work out where they were in May December relationships. They're married forever. I mean, they're having a good time. They're doing better than I did. So I guess I probably should give me a little boy. No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. But different strokes for different folks. But honestly, those are the exceptions to the rules, those relationships that work out, because most of them don't. Most of them, the woman feels used and abused by the time she's done. And she's uh, letting a young person grow up and learn and mature and waste her time. Yes, context clues, butterfly. That's how I learned to read and how I learned what words meant and how to pronounce them. And you don't even have to really do that these days because Google will tell you everything you want to know. You don't even have to know how to spell a word. You can just go on Google and say the word, and Google will give you the definition of the word and show you the word used in sentences. It's not hard. But to each their own. I guess if the guy is an adult, as long as he's not a child, if he's 23 and she's 34, or if he's 32 and she's 53, if that's what they want to do, that's on them. But that's not my cup of tea, and that's not what I would really want to do. I have been with older men when I was younger, and you know, it gives me the ick these days. I was very young with an older man, and I didn't see it that way at the time, but you know, he was very controlling and very much trying to steal my youth from me. I didn't let it happen because I'm charity. Let's be real. Nobody tells me what to do, but he tried. He did try. And I had to let him know that that wasn't going to happen. But after that relationship ended, I never talked to somebody older than me again. Everybody was that I dated after that was either a year or two older than me or my age because I just didn't want to date somebody older. Once you date somebody older, it really just, you know, especially if you date them for a significant amount of time, it really will make you feel a certain type of way about life because they've already lived their life. They already did what they wanted to do, but they want to try to control you. And that's what I didn't like. But I did like that they did teach me a lot too, and that they were very there, very solid. I did like that, having that support from someone too. I can't say I didn't like that. I didn't hate the whole experience, but I just felt like I wanted to just from that point forward just date people that were my age. And obviously I never wanted to date somebody much younger than me. Thank you, Yo Yo. Thank you so much for and I really appreciate your support too. I appreciate everybody. You like Clarissa Shields and Papoose, and I think Remy and Papoose are gonna get back together. They have too much passion after all that mess they did online, and then to see them both at their daughter's preschool graduation. I wouldn't touch neither one of them with a 10-foot pole. Clarissa is asking to get her feelings hurt, and she's constantly online arguing with Remy. Please, those people have history together, and they still have that little girl. So that means they have at least 14, 13 or 14 more years to co-parent. So anyway, even if I don't understand how people do it anyway, let's get on that subject. How do these people get, how do these women get with a man with a fresh baby? Or a man that has a baby on the way? I don't understand how people do that. This man got a baby coming. The baby hasn't even got here yet. I can see if the baby is here. Then he may be on his way out the door. But he hasn't seen that baby yet. He still got to go to the hospital and watch her push little Junior out. He still got to go with that baby for checkups. That baby got to cool. That baby got to crawl. That baby got to walk. And that woman got to send him pictures of every little thing. And he got to be there for every little milestone for that baby. And no, what woman in her right mind is letting that baby out of her eyesight? So he'd have to go to her house to see that baby. You'd have to be a fool, the world's biggest fool to get yourself involved in something like that. God is blessing me on that day. I'm going to buy me a car. Go in, and I've been struggling lately. I barely have food to eat, but I still support other people. I'm sorry to hear that, Ann, and I'm glad that God is turning it all around for you. Because you know what? When He blesses us, He does want us to bless other people. Real life simulations, I wouldn't dare. I know that's right. I wouldn't dare. Because you're going to see real soon, as soon as that baby drops, a man, if he had any feelings, if he has anything about himself, he's going to want to have something to do with his child. And then when he goes around that child's mother, most of the time, unless he just really had nothing to do with her and it was a one time thing and the baby was really a oops and they're both going on about their way. And even in that instance, even if there's no more attraction, no feelings involved, they're still going to have a lot to do with one another. And his money and his time and his energy and efforts, as they should, will go towards that baby. But let's talk about the little kindergartners, okay, that's got all these school performances and that you got to show up for and see their mother at or their father at. And then you want to be a part of that. You know he got to see her. You know he got to be there for that baby, for those birthday parties and the little baby. Don't get the baby started. Daddy, can you come over here and fix my bike? Daddy, I'm scared. I think something under my bed. Can you come check? Daddy, can you spend the night with me? Because I'm scared to go sleep without you. Huh? What's that man supposed to say? No to his little angel? Absolutely not. And you want to get yourself involved in that kind of drama? Oh, he don't like her like that. It was a oops. And she didn't want to get rid of the baby because she wanted to hold on to him. Please. Please. Mm-mm. And then they want to talk about, oh, she's a baby mama from hell. He don't like her like that. He's done with her. Please. He is not done with her. I remember years ago, one of my brother's friends told me, baby mama can always get it. Baby mama can always get it. It's always going to be something with me and my baby mama. And I was like, huh, is that right? These men always feel like they can go back home, until they don't, until it's over. I don't want nobody with little kids. I may not want you if you got older kids. Unless I know their mama is married to somebody else. And don't you know, listen, I have friends that had children that was living with their man, hadn't been with that man in years. And then they start cheating with their baby daddy. I know women and men who've been divorced and they've been divorced for years and remarried. I'm not going to play that game with you. I'm not about to play that game with you because as long as she got a man and she happy, that's one thing. But as soon as you look like you're happy, oh, it's going to be a problem. Oh, our child needs this, our child needs that. And she might leave her happy home just to break up his happy home. I'm not playing with that. Mm-hmm. That's right. God is always blessing. I remember when I first left my job, and things looked a little shaky for me, and I just had to trust in God and depend on Him. And I would tell anybody, don't look at what things look like. God is still in the blessing business, and there's nothing too hard for Him. You might think to yourself that I'm going through this hard time. And what God wants us to do is not to struggle or to suffer, but He wants us to trust Him. And once we lock in and we do that, then we'll be like, okay, we're getting one blessing after the other. That's what happened with me. And it wasn't from a friend or a family member helping me, it just kept coming. Right. I'm out of the loop because I just feel like everyone is probably sleeping with everyone unless they're happily married. I'm so jaded, butterfly. I don't believe in happy marriages anymore. And I know they're out there. I know they exist. And I know that people, love each other. But I don't know why I'm so jaded about it. I guess because, like, when you look at the world around you and the people that you know and you think, okay, they're going to last forever and they don't, it kind of just makes you feel like, okay, what's really out there? hmm So that's why I just said right now, I just want to date. I don't want to be tied down. So I guess maybe it's a self-preservation thing. Um, but also it's because it's a selfish thing. I'm not ready to just, uh-uh. No, because I've been married before and I've been in a long-term relationship before, and men require so much of you. It's like some women, they say some women have babies for the man. No, I've always been to the point where I just want my kids. Like, please, I'll see you when I see you. I just want to do me with my kids. And that's how I am now. I'd rather have my kids, and I'd rather give all my time and energy to them than to give it to someone else. And some people say, oh, well, my mom always says, well, Charity, God, this is my mom said, Charity, Mama, I don't know if you listening. She'll call me, Mama, don't call me though. She'll be like, girl, stop talking about me. My mom told me the other day, she said, Charity, God's gonna bless you with love again. I'm like, Mama, I'm cool. I'm cool, really, I am. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I cannot lie. I do not want to be old and lonely and a cat lady eating cat food on a rocking chair by myself. Ooh, no. And I can't depend on the Barbs. They're going to get older and get on. And that's exactly what I want my babies to do. I want them to thrive and live their life. Get on, fly, spread your wings like a butterfly. I want them to get college educated or start a business, whatever it is that they have a penchant for or that they like to do. I want them to thrive in that area and grow. I want them to travel the world. I want them to have friends and to date. I want them to do it all. And I don't want them to be thinking about, oh, my mom is by herself. No. So when they're grown and gone, believe you me, they will not be able to find me. They're like, Mama, where you at now? I'm on Mount Everest with my boo. I'm in Vegas with my boo. I'm on a cruise with my boo. Mama, you always go. Right. You got your husband. You have your kids. I don't have any children. Mama, what kind of grandma is that? You don't babysit or nothing. I'll see them when I see them. Me and Mr. Charles, we'll be down to your house. What is it? August around Christmas. We're gonna do a little visit. Don't bring Mr. Charles over here. Shut up. Mr. Charles is paying for my flight and these gifts for these children. He's a nice man, or I wouldn't be bringing them. That's gonna be me. That's gonna be me. But for now, I'm a player. Yep. So, uh, was I gonna say? Yes. Oh, we up on 2 hours. I think this is the first time I did 2 hours. Can I do three? Ooh, I'd really be showing out if I did three, y'all. Mm-hmm. So we done talked about everything up under the sun, and I know there is more to talk about. Actually, and I do consulting. You can go to cdarrellhoward.com. That link is also in my bio. So I do some consulting, and we could talk about different things because your girl is a Jill of all trades. And if I don't know something, I usually know the direction to steer you in. So, most definitely check out my links in my bio. If any of you have questions about affiliate marketing, if you have questions about how you can monetize your channels, and you're not, if you're not monetized yet, Yo-Yo is the guru of getting monetized and things of that nature. But your girl Charity, I'm also great at helping people to monetize their channels in other ways outside of partnerships with social media. So if you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube or Instagram, anywhere, and you have a decent following, but you haven't been able to monetize your channel through other means, I can teach you about affiliate marketing. I can teach you about how to use the presence that you do have to get some extra money. Or if you want to if you want to sell a product or something like that. Because I actually got in content because I was promoting myself. I mean, into content creation because I was promoting myself as an author, and I wanted to sell books, and I got pretty good at that. And even before that, I was a blogger for a number of years. So I kind of been at this content creation stuff for a while, and I make 5 figures a month with my affiliate marketing. That's why you'll see me on here pushing different products, not just to push them on you, but because I also use them. Most of the stuff that I want to say probably 99% of the stuff that you see me talk about, I'm using myself. The only thing that I probably really didn't like that I promoted was probably EOS lotion. EOS lotion, ugh, it smells good, and it's just a novelty because you put it on and it'll smell good, but then you'll be ashy later. Kind of like baby oil. You know how you put baby oil on? I think you got to use EOS lotion with some type of oil or something. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. So what else can we talk about? What you guys been up to? What else have you been doing, and what stories have been piquing your interest right now? While we're at it, uh, y'all, it says Chinese researchers charged with smuggling of fungus considered to be a potential agro-terrorism attack in the U.S. I'm not surprised. 2 Chinese researchers have been charged with allegedly smuggling a fungus called Fusarium graminearum, and I know I probably butchered that, into the United States, which is considered to be a potential weapon of agro-terrorism, according to the Department of Justice. Yang Ying Jian and Zongyang Lu, citizens of China, allegedly received funding from the Chinese government for their research at the University of Michigan. Their work involved a fungus that can cause a disease in wheat capable of destroying crops. In a statement, officials noted the complaint also alleges that John's electronics contain information indicating her membership and a loyalty to the Chinese Communist Party. Now, that's not shocking. When that COVID stuff happened, now, when that COVID stuff happened, Trump wanted to shut the borders down, and the Democrats had a fit about it. Oh, he's a xenophobe. Oh, he's being racist, and he wanted to shut it all down. Everybody else was shutting down their borders, but everybody made a big fuss when Trump wanted to shut down his border, and he said China was bringing it over here, and I believe that. It started in China. China was sick as a dog, and COVID wiped out a lot of people. A lot of people who are gone. People think, oh, they're left because of this or that, and they're not. They're gone because of COVID. I believe. That's my opinion. And I believe they come over here and start putting stuff in the air because people will be sick with the same symptoms, and it won't just be a certain area, it would be across the U.S. This last bug that everybody had, where it had your nose running, it had your allergies all messed up, it had you with shortness of breath, everybody had this all across the United States. And at the same time, it wasn't over a period of time, it was all at the same time. So you can't say, well, people travel and different things like that. No, it spread quickly and it lasted a while, and it felt like COVID. I couldn't smell or taste for about 2 weeks. So what was that? How did that happen? Yes, and those people are crazy. Absolutely, they are crazy. And you don't, it's like, why do people do the things that they do? But you don't know why, what type of political motivations people have. And it wouldn't happen if America would tighten up that border. And they always get mad at Trump for wanting to tighten up that border. But he's the only one that's been real enough to say, hey, you letting millions and millions of people in here. First of all, it's hurting the poor people that's already here. And who does it affect the most? Always African Americans. We're always the last to get, and we're always the most affected by anything negative that happens. So why would you allow all these people who are entering the country illegally to come over here in droves like that? And then support them. You don't even support the people here. And then they come over here and they do stuff like that. They're at the universities and they're using our knowledge and our know-how to attack us. It's crazy. Yeah. So that's what's going on. That little piece of information, but that's why another reason why they need to close the uh, the borders and stop playing around. That's one of the reasons why I was kind of wanting to vote for Trump. I know a lot of people said Trump is this and Trump is that, but that was one of the big reasons. And the reasons why is because I live in California and we've been heavily affected by illegal and immigration. We've been heavily affected by it. And there's so many people that are homeless, so many African Americans that have been displaced and had their neighborhoods gentrified and had to move to Texas and Arizona and Vegas to be able to make it, that I could see how illegal immigration, I could literally see how it was affecting American citizens. So I just felt like I didn't want to see Democrats in office again because they just wasn't showing that they cared about the people who got them in office. It was us that got Biden and Kamala in office. And they did nothing. They did nothing that directly affected us. We were worse under their administration, in my opinion. You know? Yeah. So other than that, guys, I think I'm going to head on out. I thank you all for joining my live. And I thank you all for commenting and engaging and showing your girl some love. You guys have a great Friday. And I'll probably be uploading some more content today. But other than that, I'll be back on live probably tomorrow. Hey Kendall, thanks for tuning in. Yes, definitely uh watch the replay. I talked about a lot of stuff today. I think I did pretty good. We had a good one. We were getting into some things. I was talking that talk. Yep. We had some fun. But thank you guys. You guys have a very blessed Friday. I gotta go watch what is it, Jenny and is it Jenny and Georgia? I don't know. But my kids got me lined up to binge watch some Netflix with them today. There's a Tyler Perry movie coming out today, and I always hate on Tyler's movies. I hate on everything Tyler puts out. Every last movie, every last TV show. And guess what? I probably watch all of Tyler Perry's movies and most of his TV shows. just to hate on them. It's sick. It's a sickness for real. I just watched She the People, and it was goofy, but I like She the People. So if you haven't checked out She the People on Netflix, I like that. And Tyler, what I'm finding is it depends on who he works with. She the People, what's her name? The lead actress in that, I forget her name. Let me look her up real fast. I know I said I'm about to go, but let me say this real quick because I forgot to put Tyler Perry on the thumbnail actually because I meant to talk about this, but I haven't watched the new movie he has on Netflix. It's with Taraji, and it's called Straw. She the People has, what's her name? Terry J. Vaughn. She has a sister that looks just like her twin. I met her at a concert in Los Angeles. But Terry J. Vaughn, I think she's a good actress, and she's also a director. And then he has good people on She the People. I think that's what really, for me, just like with 6 888, he had, I'm forgetting everything right now. What's that lady's name? 6 triple, let me see, what was her name? Y'all help me out in the comments. 6 888 had, what's her name? Kerry Washington. When I saw Kerry Washington was going to be in 6 888, I knew Tyler Perry was not about to play none of that old cheap wig stuff that he liked to play. I knew that that the production value was going to be so much better because Kerry doesn't play. Kerry's a great actress. She's done great work. She's a veteran. She's been in lots of great movies. I know that she wasn't going to let Tyler besmirch her name and have her looking a fool in one of his movies. I already knew. And I think she helped direct the movie. I think she helped executive produce the 6 888. And that was a good movie. I watched it twice. I might watch it again. That's probably one of the best movies that I saw Tyler produce. And also, which one was it? The Family the Praise. You got Afrey Woodard. You had was Taraji in that one too? In The Family That Prays? I know Sanaa Lathan was. And my favorite, one of my favorite actresses, what's her name? Kathy Bates. So I knew The Family that Prays wasn't going to be one of his swiftly put together, cheap production movies. Because Tyler really tries it. He really, really tries us. And he had that movie that he had with the girl from Destiny's Child. Guys, I am forgetting everything. Uh, Kelly Rowland. I like that movie. I thought it was, I thought it was a little, interesting. The little scenes they had with the art and the paint. Now he had her turned up. That was kind of Diddy-ish. If you watched that movie last year with Kelly Rowland, you guys remember it? Uh, what's that movie that Kelly Rowland did last year? Kelly Rowland and Tyler Perry. It was called. It was called Mia Culpa. That was a movie, honey. The way he had Mia in that movie, he had her on her stuff, you know. But yeah, she was having her a good time. And no, you can't send super chats, but yeah, because I am not monetized, and but uh, I did put my Cash App in the description. I didn't put it pin it on here, and I should have pinned it on here. If somebody can comment $sign mommy money getter, I will pin it so you guys can see that. You're behind, Kendall. You're not missing out on anything. But I usually watch movies when I'm falling asleep because I'm one of those people who like to fall asleep with the TV on. Some people can't go to sleep with the lights on, TV on, or nothing. I'm the one that the whole house can be dark, but I got to have a little brightness from the TV, or I have my cell phone. And I usually will fall asleep on it. Or if I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't go to sleep, then I'll turn something on. But
Some days I never turn on my TV. I'll just be working on something. Like a lot of times, I'm supporting other content creators, so I might be watching Yo Yo while I'm working on a project or something like that. But yeah, the movie was called Mia Culpa, and I think that Tyler Perry did a good job with Kelly Rowland's styling as far as her hair was concerned and her wardrobe. The movie did still leave; it had a lot of plot holes, and it was like, Tyler, what is this? Because just when you thought the movie was going well and it was doing good, you got to the ending, and you was like, boy, like you play in our face every movie. But 6888 was good from Tyler. Also, The Family That Prays to me was a good movie. But most of his stuff, especially what he comes out with now, uh-uh. And She the People, I like that show. I binge watched that show a couple of weeks ago, and I really liked She the People. I thought it was a little goofy. I thought it was cute, and I can't wait for season two. I think season two of She the People comes out in August. You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Kendall? All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this live because my phone is hot. So that may be why you can't hear me. And you guys have a good day. Oh, you can hear me. Oh, so Kendall, turn your phone up. Turn it up. But that's the last person thing I was gonna talk about was Tyler Perry. But Ty, if I could tell you guys something that you want to do, if you're a content creator and you're listening, watch Tyler Perry's movies and do. I might be doing a live tomorrow because my daughter wants me to watch that movie with her tonight. Tyler Perry will get your views up, and it will make you money too. On Facebook, every time I watch one of his movies or his TV shows and I do a review, I go viral. I've went viral several times from my Tyler Perry content because his fans are gonna either go at your come for your throat, or the people who are tired of his mess are gonna come and have some mess to talk about. So you're gonna get a lot of engagement from Tyler Perry productions. Every last time I made a lot of money and I went viral a lot from talking mess about Tyler Perry's movies or even just talking about them. So I don't know if you want to watch this new movie Straw that's on Netflix and do a live about Tyler Perry, or if you're on Facebook and you want to do a post about him, um, just make sure you use good SEOG and a good picture along with that on Facebook. With Facebook, I'm gonna give you guys a little. I always try to give you guys a little bit of something that you can use. So if somebody is watching this all the way at the end, then they got a freebie from me. If they didn't watch it all the way to the end, they missed out. But if you're on Facebook, always post with a picture and it's not really about hashtags. It's more about if you are using key phrases in your comments. That's how you will get engagement, and that's how you will go viral on Facebook. But those viral posts can net you if you're monetized on Facebook, and even if you're not, you don't have to be monetized on any of these platforms to make money. Just put your links in your bios and put your links in comments. That's what I always do because Facebook does not want you putting links in your post. You can put it in the comment, but do not put your link in the post because they sell ad space over there. So they don't want you putting your link in your post. Put it in the comments and pin it, and then people will come over to your page and they'll, engage with your content, and they'll probably want to find out more about you and see what else you have going on, and they'll click the link in your bio. When I go to impact.com to see where my engagement or where my clicks to my links are coming from, and most of the time it's from Facebook, sometimes from YouTube. You know what? I cannot receive a super chat, and I'm sorry. My phone is getting hot too because it's been going for 2 minutes. Me 2 hours and 19 minutes. So I'm going to get off of this thing for the last time. I'm going to bid you all adieu. Have a great rest of your Friday. Stay blessed, and I'll be back live tomorrow. And if you haven't already done so, you can check out my shorts that I uploaded today. I think I'll do a longer video for my daughter's graduation. But yes, thank you all for tuning in and watching. I love you all. Bye.